Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for following along. Today is a little different. As of 5:40 of recording this, I've made 0 sales today. So those days happen. It's not a big deal. So today we're going to go through a few goals that I have for the rest of the year. And then also I'm going to work on getting those pegboard bins up on my Etsy store, which includes photos. So I'll kind of show you what my photo process is and how I get that Etsy listing built. But I'm not going to go into the full details, but I'll show you as much as I can. All right, let's get started. All right, first step for me tonight is to grab my equipment and actually go to a new part that you guys haven't seen yet of my shop. It's the messy section of my basement, and that's usually why I have the lights off, but I'll bring you in on the clue here. All right, 3, 2, 1. This is the other messy part of my basement. So while my little office might look tiny and nice and neat, just know that that's not reality. My basement's still a mess and I'm working on cleaning it up. But I do have this set up with just a cardboard box. I got this roll of paper from the photography store for a nice backdrop. So I'll go get my lighting equipment and my camera. I'll set up over here and bring the products over I want to do a photo shoot with. Got the bin set up, brought my other camera over. I'll go ahead and take these photos. It's kind of like me running around and just shooting from angles that I think look cool. You'll watch me rearrange things. I'll do a quick time lapse and then I can go back and show you what like the actual editing and the photos turn out to be.
So I've had some questions about goals for the business, and by the end of this year, I'd like to hit 365 sales. I think it would be super cool to say that I had an average of 1 sale per day in my first year of business, especially since this has just been a side thing that I've been doing. Going into 2025 though, I really want to scale up the business, the YouTube channel, and make this something that can provide a full-time income for my family.
All right, so this looks pretty good. Just a couple photos. I only have like 10 spots on Etsy to put stuff anyway, but I want some like real use case photos. So I'm gonna go back to the pegboard, set them up, arrange them so they look cool, and then maybe fill them with stuff. I'm not sure yet, but we'll go experiment over there. I just raided my other pegboard bins and threw a bunch of stuff up in here. I'll go ahead and take a few photos of that and I'll meet you guys at the computer for the next step.
So this part's kind of tedious. Photo editing is not my favorite thing to do, but I do use the Affinity software suite. I've had a couple questions on that. It's a buy once, have forever kind of software. They have equivalents of all the Adobe software that people are pretty familiar with. But it's just a matter of picking out the photos I want, getting it imported, doing the color corrections, doing a little bit of file organization, and then putting it up on Etsy. If you're interested in that process in depth, let me know in the comments and I can maybe make a video about that later on in the future.
Just went through and pulled in the edits as you saw me doing there. Honestly, I'm not sure how best to show that to you guys. It's kind of boring, but if you're ever curious, maybe I can do that in the road. And here are some of the photos I got. These are just a kind of a sneak peek. I'll show you the listing after I get everything up tonight. But this is what's going to go up. And I'm just doing digital files. Kind of like we talked about in the last photo or last video. This is just going to be digital files for anybody who wants them. Just another thing to have on the shop and kind of diversify my portfolio a little bit heading into Christmas. Just spent 20 minutes or so getting the listing all cleaned up, picking the photo I want. There's still a few things I'd change, but again, it's kind of like proof of concept. Better to have it up and can make the changes down the road. Let me wrap this up. I'll put the link to this in my video. So if you just want to see kind of the work I did and the photos, and if you have any questions on that, you can like just let me know in the comments and I'd love to answer that. And off to the next thing. All right, so as promised from yesterday, I've got the update. Again, I think I showed you this, but this was the first iteration out of PLA for those grinder hopper bellows. That's why I got the TPU in. This is the one that printed and it worked really, really well. Let me focus in on that. And you can see it looks great actually in terms of quality, but what doesn't work is the actual squishing of it. It's really hard to squish. I mean, it does have flexibility, but those don't bend like an accordion like I thought they would. So that's okay. I decided to make it a little bit thinner on my model and this happened. It was too thin. So a little bit of learning curve there. I think I just need to make those ridges quite a lot bigger so that they fold properly when you push down on it to push air through the coffee grinder. I'm going to put this off because this isn't a product that I've had a lot of people reach out for, but is definitely something I'm going to keep working on down the road, and I'll bring you along in that process. That's where I'm going to have to leave it off today. I just wanted to give you a quick update. days when you don't have sales happens, especially when you're in the beginning of starting a business. It's not my first day of doing this, but it's nice because it gives you a little breather to focus in on another project or something you do want to get done for the business. I've got a whole list of things that I want to get done, and I am constantly adding to that list from the things that you guys are putting in the comments. Again, the amount of support and questions and everybody who's tuning in for the show, I suppose, is overwhelming. I really appreciate it. I want to give some, not perspective, but context around what's coming down the road. Thanksgiving is next week, and this weekend is week before Thanksgiving. So it's just busy, a lot of family stuff going on. I still continue or plan to continue uploading. I've got a video planned for Thanksgiving and the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I'm going to have those done ahead of time and uploaded so you guys can enjoy them. And I'm going to do a little bit different videos on those days since it's not going to be business functions per se. But I would like to do a video on the bare minimum setup. So I've seen several people in the comments talk about they just bought their first 3D printer or they have one on the way. What is the first things you need to really get going to see if a product that you designed works and is something that people want to buy. And then the second thing I'll do the Saturday following is a little bit about my design process. So I've had a lot of questions on that. I have a product that's halfway done, and now it's really, I've already done the function. Now I've got to design the form to make it a product that can potentially sell. So I'll walk you through that process and how it works. Again, thanks for tuning in. It's just been a slow day here on the business side, but I got some stuff done, was able to be productive, happy with where I'm at. Again, if you want to check out that listing, how I made it, and the photos and the copy, it's honestly pretty straightforward. So I hope that's encouraging for when you put something up. Check that link out. And other than that, I'll see you next time. Thanks.